I thought my mom was kind of crazy when she said she wanted to get chickens. She really is going overboard on the whole environmental thing. I never wanted to have chickens in our yard. The idea of turning our yard into a smelly farm disgusted me. Since we have got them, I have realized that it isn't all that bad. I'm not a chicken lover, but now that I've seen them, I'm not a hater.
I think chickens are really cool, and I have done a lot of research into them. I asked my mom if we could have them, but she didn't think we could fit them into our yard. After I answered all her questions about chicken care and why the eggs are so much better, she said okay. I think she was mostly thinking about getting the eggs to feed me and my two brothers. We eat a lot.
The Farm Animal Welfare Council created these guidelines to help us better attend to the needs of farm animals.
It's common sense to think about these 5 freedoms when dealing with any animals, even humans.
Our chickens go crazy for spaghetti, cheese, and bread. Maybe they're Italian. We feed the chickens all our table scraps except for a few things like chocolate, coffee, avocados, but who has leftovers of that?
Chickens are omnivores. They eat almost anything. They can even eat cooked chicken.
We grind up the shells with a mortar and pestle. It gets ground up really fine.
Shells give them lots of calcium to produce stronger eggshells, which is important for laying hens.
I love this coop, very Martha Stewart. If you put a pretty paint color on an old shed, it can look very fresh and festive.
Some chicken coops are really big and fancy, like ours. Others can be small and simple. You can even convert an old playhouse into a coop. You can add cedar shakes to match your home.
A chicken coop could be an architectural statement for your yard, or it could be basic. Here's a hutch turned into nesting boxes in a shed, and a plastic garbage can turned into a chicken tractor.
Chickens don't care what the coop looks like, as long as it provides shelter. You can use any type of recycled material, as long as it's non-toxic.
It's easy to keep chickens in the city because they don't take up much space. A 6-foot by 10-foot coop could fit up to 8 chickens comfortably, and many yards can accommodate this size.
You need light, a place for them to roost, a place for them to nest, and you need 3 square feet indoors and 10 square feet outdoors.
A hen house needs insulation and needs to be draft-free so that the chickens can keep themselves warm. At night, they will huddle together, squatting over their feet and tucking their heads under their wing. On extremely cold days and nights, it's a good idea to have passive solar heating and even a brooder lamp to keep off the chill. A heated water dish found at a pet store will be great for keeping their water from freezing on cold days.
They need shelter, an easy way to get outside, a chicken-sized door, and a comfortable temperature.
Bedding is necessary to absorb odor and moisture, and you can use dry leaves, shredded newspaper, straw, hay, or wood shavings. A dust bath can be as simple as a plant pot filled with fireplace ash, sand, and dirt. An old tire is also great as a dust bath.
It feels good for the chickens, and it can prevent parasites naturally. You can use many different types of things for bedding. Wood shavings are my favorite because they absorb the waste, make it cleaner, drier, better, and easier on the chicken's breathing.
Taking care of yourself and your family is as easy as keeping clean. Use separate rubber boots and an old jacket for chicken chores and cleaning out the coop.
You always need to wash your hands after interacting with the chickens.
If you have kids or pets, you are likely already in the habit of washing up. A little common sense and you can keep safe and healthy. These hybrid breeds of chickens typically lay eggs quite well, and you can eat them when they are too old. You can get breeds that are excellent egg layers or excellent meat birds, but for a backyard, a hybrid breed is a good compromise.
As long as there is shelter from wind, rain, and snow, there are breeds of chickens that acclimatize and do well in northern climates.
Whenever you have an animal, you have to think about what to do with it when the animal is too old. And the great thing about chickens is that you can eat them. You can bring them to a vet to get euthanized, but you can't eat them after that. If your chicken is more a pet than a food source, you can just have it buried and have a nice funeral for her.
Take your chicken to someone who can slaughter them. For example, in Calgary, you would take it to the Irricana Hutterite colony, where they would give an instant death with no suffering.
Chickens are really funny to watch. They waddle like a pregnant woman, but they can run really fast when they see that someone is about to feed them.
Chickens like to scratch and peck at the ground. They forage for bugs and worms.
It's nice to know that our chickens have such a great life. They will even come looking for us if they hear us in the yard, just to see what we are doing.
Chickens are curious and they don't like to be chased, but they like to be held, and they can fall asleep in your arms.
Chickens like to do pretty normal things. They like to walk around, stretch out their wings, roll in dust baths, and sit on perches. And of course, they like to lay eggs.
When you see chickens running around our yard, they like to jump on our dog. They lay and relax in the most unusual things. Sometimes my chickens stretch out one arm and the opposite leg. It looks like they are doing a yoga move called downward chicken.
Our chickens are just like our dogs. They eat, run around, and nap in the sunshine.
Sometimes they look like they are dead, but they are actually just relaxed.
You hold a chicken just like you hold a baby. Once it feels safe and secure, it just relaxes.
As long as you are supporting its weight and restraining its wings, if it feels comfortable, it's good. The chicken will let you know if it's not happy.
Different places have different predators, so build your coop well and you won't need to supervise your chickens. You can leave them in the coop while you are at work or school and they will be just fine.
In Calgary, you need to be aware of coyotes, dogs, and cats.
We were worried that our dogs might attack our chickens, so we waited until they were full grown before we took a chance. Now they are all in the yard together nicely. I think the dogs are a bit jealous that the chickens get the table scraps and they don't. The dogs keep sneaking into the coop to eat what the chickens don't.
You don't get chickens just for eggs. They also have great potential as pets too. If you introduce your chickens properly with your other pets, they can be great friends.
Now that you know all the details, perhaps you'll consider having chickens in your backyard to get nutritious eggs every day.
If you look at the formula, it's not that hard to take care of chickens. We have 3 Sean ticklers. Stop tickling me! We have 3 Sean ticklers, and they are never... You didn't tickle me. We have 3 Sean ticklers, and We have 3 Sean ticklers, and they are never... You didn't tickle me. We have 3 Sean ticklers. Stop tickling me!